Hello, loves. Welcome to episode 4 of the Thriving on Etsy series. In today's episode, I want to talk to you about providing exceptional customer service on Etsy and why it should be your top priority as a seller. When you hear the words customer service, typically the first thing that comes to mind is how a seller handles a situation when something goes wrong with an order. But customer service is actually all about the overall customer experience. Customer service starts the moment potential buyers go to Etsy and search for your product. It continues as they click through to your listing, make a purchase, receive their purchase, and leave a review. Customer service is how they experience Etsy and your shop throughout their entire buying journey. And you want that experience to be positive so that they return to Etsy and more specifically, return to your shop. So in today's episode, I'm going to share how having exceptional customer service will actually increase your ranking in search, increase your sales, and increase your chances of establishing lifelong customers of your brand. Now, Etsy has a high focus on making sure shoppers have a positive experience when shopping on Etsy. Over the past few years, Etsy has been working hard to increase the shopping experience for buyers. With advancements in artificial intelligence and machine learning, Etsy is able to show shoppers listings that they are more likely to buy and from shops that are closer in location to them. As Etsy continues to do their part to enhance the overall buying experience, they also encourage their sellers to do the same. So when buyers are met with ease and an exceptional experience, they're more likely to return again, which means more money for Etsy sellers and more money for Etsy. So Etsy actually rewards sellers for providing an exceptional customer experience. Etsy creates different programs like the Customer and Market Experience Score and the new Star Seller Badge to encourage sellers to provide excellent customer service. And in turn, sellers are rewarded with a small boost in search ranking. Inside of Etsy's official Ultimate Guide to Search, Etsy states, in addition to helping people find items that they want to purchase, we want buyers to have a great experience when they shop on Etsy. To do this, we give each shop a customer and market experience score and factor it into search placement. Getting great reviews, having complete shop policies, and adding an about section positively impacts your search ranking. While recent cases opened against your shop and intellectual property infringements issues can hurt your search ranking. So when you look closely, customer service is all about communication. When you can effectively communicate with potential customers and answer any questions they may have about your product or buying from your shop, they will feel more confident purchasing from you. When they know more about you as the maker, they become more invested. Shoppers feel like they are investing in something bigger than themselves. And when you can share your story, it connects the buyer to your work. Communicating the right information helps build the know, like, and trust factor. This is why Etsy rewards you for completing your shop policies and your about section. Communicating directly with the customer through Etsy conversation will reinforce their decision to purchase from your shop and continue to build the know, like, and trust factor as well. So even though Etsy sends out these boring auto-generated emails confirming the customer's order and letting them know when their order has shipped, Etsy encourages sellers to message their customers and thank them for their order and keep them updated during shipping. It's not against Etsy's terms of service to communicate with the customer via Etsy conversations, as long as the communication is about a recent order. Communicating directly with buyers is also a great way to establish a relationship and has been proven to prevent a negative experience. And it also encourages return customers through relationship building. So there are 4 different touch points that I encourage you to reach out to a buyer. So when I was actively selling on Etsy, I had a spreadsheet that listed all of my order numbers, the name of the buyer, and then the day the sale took place, when the item shipped, when the item arrived, and did they leave a review, yes or no. So I had this spreadsheet set up. I would work on it in the morning. So before I, started my day at work, it was the first thing I did. And it was kind of how I ended my day as well, updating it. So what you can do is you can actually save replies, and they used to be called snippets. Now it just says like all saved replies, but you can actually create a reply or create communication with a customer, and you can save it inside of Etsy. So then when you get a sale, and these are the 4 different touch points. When you get a sale, you can click on that order and you can reach out to the buyer and you can thank them for their purchase. Okay. And then you would update that on your spreadsheet if you wanted to keep it organized, kind of like I did. And then when I would go to ship out products, I would always have that extra shipping slip. And I would just take my pile of shipping slips for the day. I would go into my spreadsheet and I would copy the order number, open up the conversation, and I would let the buyer know that their order had shipped. And then I would go back a couple days later, because I typically did priority shipping, go back a couple days later, look at those and see if they actually arrived or see if there was any issue, any delays in transit. And then I would update the spreadsheet based on communicating with the customer and saying, hey, I saw your order arrived. And then I would encourage them to leave a review. And once they left a review, I would thank them for the review. So the 4 different touch points are when they actually place an order with your shop, when their order has shipped, when you notice that their order has arrived, and then when they leave a review. Now, as I mentioned, I created these saved communications, and I would just have to basically add that communication into the Etsy conversation, type their name in for personalization, and any other personalization, just make a quick adjustment to the actual conversation, and I was able to ship them quickly. Sadly, there isn't a ton of automation inside of Etsy. You can use, a third-party email system like Aweber that will integrate with Etsy, but Etsy itself does not allow you to create automated messaging. So you will have to manually send those every time you get an actual order. So what I had and did is I just took all of my saved snippets, all of my saved communication, all of my saved messages or replies, as Etsy calls them, and I went ahead and put them in a little document for you. And you can go to bykristinanichole.com /Etsy swipe. And you can grab my swipe files for all of these. And I'm going to go through them real quick here so you can hear them. But if you want to get easy access to them, just go to bykristinanichole.com /Etsy swipe and grab your copy of my swipe files. So the first one that I would send out is when they purchased an actual item from my shop. So I would say hello, and then I would insert their name to create that personalized touch. Just stopping by to tell you how excited we are to get your order. Thank you for your recent purchase from our shop. You are going to love your creation. We will get to work right away, but please allow 1 to 3 business days for processing time prior to shipment. Please see your receipt for an estimated ship date. Transit times depend on shipping methods you choose at checkout, as well as the schedule of the carrier. If you have any questions, please feel free to reply to this message. Thank you again for your order and supporting our small business. With love and kindness, XOXO, Christy. So in this specific message to the buyer, I created personalization by inserting their name. I let them know that we were excited to get their order. Now, I used we because it was my husband and I running the shop. You can use we in the sense of like the royal we, even if it's you. Just be consistent, whether you're using I or we, just be consistent in your communication. That's the biggest thing. I thank them for their purchase. I let them know that the processing prior to shipment was 1 to 3 days, and that they could check their receipt for an estimated shipment date. Okay, so it's just providing them with some information. It's potentially hitting questions that they have or objections they may have. And then I let them know that there potentially can be, delays in transit. And if they have any questions, to just reply to this message and we will take care of them. And then for me personally, The biggest thing when it comes to grabbing these swipe files is you want to make sure that they are in your own voice. So swipe files are amazing. They are super helpful, but typically you want to use them as a guide. So when you go and download the swipe files that I have for you, you can copy and paste them and just put them into your saved messages on Etsy. But I highly recommend going in and adjusting them to be in your voice. Like you may not feel comfortable saying with love and kindness, hugs and kisses, Christy. Like that may not be something that you're comfortable with saying. So put it in your own words, just use swipe files as a guide. Second touch point of communication is when their order actually ships. So like I said, I typically print out that second order receipt and I always like tape them to the top of my box. And then I put the shipping label on and I pull them off and then I have a stack of them, right? So then I take that stack, I go to my spreadsheet, I go to my computer, I enter in all the orders that shipped that day. And then I message all the orders that has shipped that day. So I say, hello, insert their name. We are contacting you to let you know that your beautiful creation has shipped. We poured our hearts into your creation by cutting, constructing, conditioning, sanding, staining, painting, and sealing it to perfection. Woodworker here. We have sprinkled all kinds of love and kindness into your package, enough for you to share. Our top priority is to provide you with a quality product and a wonderful customer experience. Once you have received your creation, we want to ensure your expectations are fully met. Our goal is for you to be completely satisfied. If for any reason your experience was less than perfect, contact us immediately by replying directly to this email so we can take care of you. Thank you again for your order with Silva Design. We really appreciate your support of our small family business with love and kindness. XOXO, Christy. So it's really important, again, when we talk about swipe files, obviously this one talks about my process. So cutting, constructing, all of that. That was a build of kind of trust there to show that their product was unique and that we had our hands in every single aspect of it. Okay. So just kind of relationship building there. That obviously may not pertain to yours. So you can kind of come up with your own and just use it as a guide and alter it a little bit. Another thing is when you communicate with customers, a lot of times like copy and sales, experts will basically say like, you need to speak in a way that like you want to assume that they're not going to have a problem, right? So when I write, if for any reason your experience is less than perfect, a lot of copywriters will say that that's not the best thing to say, because then you are opening up opportunity for them to find a reason that the experience wasn't good. So sometimes they'll say like, once your experience is perfect, or because you had a perfect experience, or something like that. But to me, it's a little pushy, and it's a little out of integrity for me to speak that directly. Like I want the customer to feel that they can come to me if they have a problem, or because I'm not perfect. Products don't always show up perfect. So that's something that you will have to consider for yourself. I just like for them to make that assumption. I feel like they can reach out to me if they do have any issues with their experience. Moving on to number 3, the third touch point is when they actually receive their order. So when they receive their order, this is a great opportunity for you to ask for the review. Okay. So hello, insert their name. We are contacting you because we see that your order has arrived. Now, if you want to take the time, you can insert the date that it actually arrived. We want to make sure it arrived perfect and that your expectations were met. Our goal is for you to be completely satisfied. If for any reason this is not the case, we would appreciate it if you would give us a chance to address your concerns before leaving a review by replying directly to this email. If you've had a wonderful buying experience, we would love for you to leave a review and share your positive experience with all of our future shoppers. This small act of kindness really does big things for our small business. You can quickly leave your review by going to your account, clicking on purchases and reviews, and finding your recent purchase from Silva Design. Thank you again for your order. We really do appreciate your support of the handmade community. We look forward to creating with you again. XOXO, Christy. Okay, so in this one specifically, we said, hey, I see you've gotten your order. Did everything arrive? Great. If so, can you take the time to leave a review? Because that really helps our small business. Now, I told them quickly how they can go about doing that. If you can make it easier on them, that's awesome. Anything that is done with ease is going to get you better results. So if you can walk them through leaving a review, it's really helpful. We thank them again for supporting us. And then at the very end, I say, we look forward to creating with you again, insinuating that they are going to come back and work with us again. Okay, the fourth touch point is when they actually leave a review. So insert name. You are such a valued customer. Thank you for taking the time to complete a review on your experience with Silva Design. We are happy to hear that you had a great buying experience and loved your creation. Your support is greatly appreciated. We can't wait to see you again. XOXO, Christy. So in this one's a little bit more generic because when I would go in to actually send this message, I would make it more personalized based on their actual review. So if somebody says that they loved your product, because of a specific detail or so-and-so, when they gifted it to them, they were so excited. Like you can add those in there. Like, I'm so happy to hear that your sister absolutely loved her establishment sign and it made, her day. Like you can add, if you can add more personal touches in there, it makes the customer feel more seen, heard, and valued. And that's really, really important when it comes to building that relationship. So the biggest thing, again, when it comes to these swipe files is to use them as a guide. Make sure you insert your own voice, speak the way that you normally would. Don't say things or do things that are out of integrity, that don't feel good to you. Just make sure you use them as a guide. And then I want to remind you, I'll put them in the show notes, but you can go to bykristinanichole.com/Etsy swipe to grab your copy of my swipe files. Now, there are also additional benefits to connecting directly with customers. So this type of communication can really help you narrow your product offering and allow you to get to know the customers that you're serving through their questions and feedback. So this will help you continue to improve your customer service. Communicating with customers also opens a line of communication. So if anything does come up or shipping is delayed or anything like that, you can either contact the customer yourself because you're tracking it with that spreadsheet, right? Or you can, you'll be able to, they'll feel more confident in reaching out to you if they feel like it's delayed or something like that. It'll open that line of communication so that you have less chances of getting a negative review. It also provides the opportunity to potentially get buyers to join your email list in exchange for a discount code or a free gift, allowing you to continue to build your relationship with them. So once you have moved beyond Etsy and expanded your brand, you have the opportunity then to direct them to your own website. It's much easier to get a return customer than it is to acquire new customers. So if you can start building your email list and then finding a way to get customers on your email list that's within Etsy's terms of service, it will help to be able to continue to sell to that customer instead of trying to acquire new ones. Next, let's talk about reviews. So not only does Etsy reward you in multiple ways for positive reviews encourage more sales by instilling trust and making your shop more credible. So ask for reviews, whether you're communicating via Etsy or providing an insert within your packaging with an incentive to leave a review or both. Asking for the review is a big step a lot of sellers are overlooking when it comes to getting more positive reviews for your shop. During the buy-in experience, there are a lot of things that you can do to encourage positive reviews. So the first one, and this should be a top priority for you, is actually creating a product of high quality. Okay, quality is very important, and quality is going to play a huge role in whether somebody has a positive experience with your shop. Second, responding quickly to conversations and reaching out to the buyer if there's an issue with their order. So if the buyer contacts you, and this is part of the Etsy seller badge, you want to make sure that you're responding to those conversations quickly. When it comes to potential issues with their order, like I said, if you are communicating with them and you are checking on their shipment, and if there are any delays and you're keeping that spreadsheet, that's going to help you keep track of what orders may be delayed, may not be getting to the customer on time. And if you can reach out to them before they are questioning, like, hey, where's my package? Then it's just going to provide them a more positive experience because they know that you're looking out for them. The third way is you want to represent your items accurately in both your photos and your description so that your customers aren't disappointed when they receive their package. This can also be done through a listing video. So the importance in this, and we're going to get more into like product photos and videos and descriptions in episode 6. But the importance to this is, again, communication. It's all about communicating the most important information about your shop, your product to the customer. And this is done either visually or verbally, right? So nonverbal would be your product photos, videos, and then your verbal communication is in your actual product descriptions. And sadly, Etsy kind of hides the descriptions. So that's why product photos are even more important, and you need to be communicating all the most important information inside of your product photos. Now, the product photos, you have potential of 10. And like I said, we'll get more into this in episode 6, but you want to be thinking about questions that customers may have about your product, or you want to be thinking about what sets you apart from your competition or other people in your industry. You want to think about objections that customers may have, and just make sure that you're communicating all that information. And this is why high quality product photos are super important too. And having the right photos are super important because you want to be accurately representing what they are going to receive. Fourth is exceeding your customers' expectations with nice touches. So people shop on Etsy for the personal experience. Handmade, they know that they're supporting families, they're supporting small businesses. Like, it's very value-based. And because of that, they want that personal experience and they want everything to be a little more thoughtful. A lot of people go to Etsy to pick out gifts because they are personalized or they are more thoughtful. Different things you can do is include like a handwritten thank you note. You can offer gift wrapping, different discounts, especially if you're sending a gift, like they've marked as gift, taking a picture of the final product and how it's gift wrapped to send to the recipient, and then sending that to the actual buyer via a conversation. A photo of that would be an excellent way to just add an additional touch. So just think about how you can separate yourself from your competition and how you can make the experience more personalized and more positive. The fifth is shipping orders on time and making sure the processing times that you give are accurate. This really helps, like, especially since we're experiencing so many shipping issues and shipping delays. Like I said, if you can be watching and tracking people's orders and keeping them up to date before they have to actually reach out to you, that just creates a more positive experience. And the shipping orders on time is actually part of the seller badge. And it's just important to make sure you're keeping your word and you're delivering on what you have promised that customer. And then the sixth is keeping them informed and updated during the process. So we've talked about this multiple times. If you can reach out to them before they reach out to you, especially when an issue is occurring, it just helps build that trust and it helps them feel more confident about the process and knowing that they're actually going to be taken care of by you. But in 5, when we're talking about shipping, if something does come up with shipping, a lot of sellers assume that that's on the customer. Like, hey, once it's left my hands, it's up to the customer to contact the postal service or whoever to try to get things resolved. think about it this way. Put yourself in the buyer's shoes. If you purchased a product from somebody and it was either lost in transit or it got damaged in transit, you technically did not receive what you paid for, right? So it is, you are responsible for making sure that they get the product that they purchased. It's called deliverability. Like, you want to make sure that you deliver on your promises. And when they purchase from you and you promise to send them this product that was pictured and described by this time, then you need to make sure that you're following through and nothing that happens. So if there does happen to be shipping issues, whether it gets lost or it gets damaged, you really need to be there for the customer and help them work through that. Contact the postal service yourself, make the claims yourself, make sure they get a replacement, and all of that in a timely manner. Take care of your people. Because at the end of the day, providing exceptional customer service is going to lead to a more positive buying experience for shoppers, which will lead to more sales, which in turn will lead to your listings and shop ranking higher in Etsy search. See how it all kind of creates this chain reaction. Customer service is the core of you thriving on Etsy and truly the core of business success. At the end of the day, without customers, you have no business. So take care of your people. Are you ready for more clicks and more sales on your Etsy listing? Attract more customers and make them feel confident in purchasing from your shop with product photos that look professional, connect, and communicate the most important information. Transform your Etsy listing product photos with the Etsy Photo 5-Day Challenge at etsyphotochallenge.com. That's etsyphotochallenge.com. Please take the time to like this video if you found it useful, and hit that subscribe button if you want to learn more about creating visual content for your handmade business. Handmade is you.